Las Vegas Discount.net's the best there is. Save up to 50% on your next Vegas trip. And travel, rental, shows, and tours. Find the deals you're looking for. Las Vegas Discount.net. Las Vegas Discount.net. If you're going to Vegas for deals that are the best, visit Las Vegas Discount.net.
FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee, talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Net Radio!
Hola, soy Julio César Chávez.
And lights out, baby. Lights out all day.
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a one-hour television spectacular.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
We gon' know. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I got friends all over the world, man.
Who gives a shit with White? He's a piece of crap.
With a tear in my eye.
Boop. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight. Really? Who did that? Somebody actually say beep?
No.
Did I lose you guys already?
No, I'm still here.
No.
But I didn't say beep.
Hi. All right. I swear to God, I heard a beep.
Yeah,
hi, everyone. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Hunter, Kendra Lopez. Yeah, okay. There we go.
What's up, you guys?
Lee Honish,
What up?
Andrew Labouche, Miguel Antonio Barragan, on what I can only describe as a marathon week of fucking fugly chicks so far. I think I had the description correct last night while watching the fight. I'll start with this. Let's just go with our overall feelings on the evening. For those of you who don't know, Boxing Return will cover each fight and what we didn't learn completely from each and every single one of these fights and what we could care less about. Look, I love pizza, and I have had shitty pizza, but at least I'm still having pizza. I have had a lot of sex in my adult life. I have also had sex with ugly girls. It's still sex. Sometimes it's just tougher to deal with than others. Last night, I had to fuck a fat, ugly chick. And it was pretty awful. I mean, I got to be brutally honest about what went down last night. I don't want to bring it to Bob, but that's what she came out of the gate with. I mean, I'm not going full Bob because, well, to be brutally honest, this is not a maximum effort moment. I'm kind of burned out from what I had to deal with. I'll start with you, Andrew. Overall, what were your feelings?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't expect too much from last night's fights, and I think I got exactly what I was thinking this fight was going to be. When you guys talked about judges, I think you guys seen I said nothing will be going to scorecards. One fight ended up going to the scorecards, but the rest were all knockouts. These are all washed. Look, they're not looking to put anybody in a competitive fight right now. These guys were opponents. They were out of shape. I think two of them went down because of body shots. They're like, "Ooh, haven't felt that in like 9 weeks. Let me go ahead and touch the canvas real fast." Yeah, we're gonna see. This is exhibition football right now, you guys. That's what this is. You gotta wait it out. You gotta see how it goes. Go ahead,
Miguel.
Well, I mean, nothing more really needs to be said. We were treated to a bunch of, squash matches. For those of you who don't know, there's a vocabulary for pro wrestling, and one of them is called a squash match, where basically one guy's put in there to lose, the other guy makes it look like $1 million, and the match ends in 30 seconds. That's pretty much what we just saw. That's what we saw last night. We understood these guys were, opponents, and I was hoping, boxing would come out with a little bit more right out of the bag, but it didn't turn out that way. A lot of these fights, we kind of figured they were going to be short. They weren't going to go the distance. The only one that did go the distance was like stopped on a cut. So I don't even think it went the full distance. It was like a headbutt, right?
Yes,
yeah. So it wasn't even really like a full 6 rounds. But what else can we say? It was boxing. I did watch it. Of course, I was gonna watch it, whether it was gonna be shitty sex or good sex. I was gonna watch it. But they were just opponents and making the other guy look good.
I will say the guys that were supposed to shine still did, right? And look, the Italian kid, he gets a knockout fairly quick, right? First round knockout. Baby boy, how do you say his name? Baby boy Jared?
Jared Anderson.
Big baby
Jared. That dude he looks solid.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. The real big baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks solid, man. I loved his body work, his combinations. He took what I considered a step up in competition. The guy he was fighting, 16-0 and 16. He had a few losses and 3 losses and like 14 knockouts. I mean, that's a decent record when you're a heavyweight and stepping up in competition. You most of the time they're not putting them in with heavy-handed fighters. I thought he did fine. And then Shakur Stevenson, I mean, come on. Yes, he was in there to shine, but didn't he? He did everything he was supposed to. He's very impressive, this guy. The accuracy on Stevenson is really something to watch. To be honest with you, I think Top Rank, if I'm Teofimo López, I'm a little bit nervous about the Lomachenko showdown at the end of the year. I don't know if Lomachenko and Stevenson is being set up here, but oh boy, if Lomachenko can unify, what a start to Stevenson's career if he gets that Lomachenko as a unified champ. Because am I lying? To López and Lomachenko, that's not a 50-50 fight. I'm looking more 60-40, right? On Lomachenko being the favorite.
Towards Lomachenko. Yeah, definitely. The more experience, I think that's just going to really, really shine in that fight. I kind of feel like they are kind of rushing Teofimo a little bit to give him, Lomachenko this quick. So I'm going to lean towards Lomachenko on that one, for sure.
Yeah, and then when you see last night, it's like, wait a minute, Stevenson looks like he's the guy that's ready. Yeah. Like, seriously, the guy, defense, they already compare him to Floyd, say he's better than Floyd at this age bracket. His speed, his accuracy, he's a champ too. It's just, I don't know, man. If I'm López, you better pay attention. That fight is everything, because I don't have you a favorite. And when you see Top Rank knows how to build stars, man. They might see something where they're like, let's pull it now, get Lomachenko those 2 belts, and we'll have him unify against Stevenson in a huge match. So that's my prediction.
Well, because we are friends of Bob's and Top Rank, let's cover the BTS, big tit shit right out of the gate. I think they mean behind the scenes, but it's big tit shit and all the problems, because this will filter its way back, and maybe, just maybe, we can change things for tomorrow night before we talk about that card. First and foremost, get a writer, people. Look, we had 2 fights in 90 minutes of telecast. Jeez.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you get in there against.
Fights.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, no. I understand. Like, we're going to talk about the 1-round knockouts. We'll go through it. I've got the press release.
Dana White surprisingly gave me a little insight on why this might be happening with Top Rank and ESPN. But I'll tell you in a little bit. But yeah, he gave some interesting information in his last interview.
All right.
Okay. First of all, let's talk about the writing, which there was none of, which caused 5, 6 guys to fucking wing it. I don't know if there was somebody whispering questions or concepts or any of that. It looked like, and I mean this sincerely as a guy who does not write this show. I have ideas when I start. But I am also prepared that if the two of you dropped off the line, I'm pretty sure I can fill an hour talking about this fight card without even batting an eye about it and making it fairly entertaining. Top Rank did, my God, we started at 4 o'clock and that fucking thing wasn't over till 8-ish. I mean, it was 4 hours for literally massacre fights. First of all, the interview segments with...
Correct?
Yeah, I agree.
The first round?
Yeah, I don't remember whether the first round.
First of all, let's talk about this character right here. Let's start right here. This dude is, I get he speaks both languages. I get it. I get it why we had him. We cut down on having an interpreter. But Fernando. The dude is a fucking placard. Like, you could have just had a cutout person with like voices coming out of his mouth. Like, could you find a different piece of shit? I really didn't think I'd ever say this.
They should have gotten one of those fucking like cardboard cutouts of like, remember, have you guys seen Dodgeball where they have like Ben Stiller and that fucking cardboard cutout talking about like, yeah, Globo Gym. Oh man.
Yeah, right. Why don't you get a Ron Burgundy cutout? Oh, and now you can see how this is all. Let's go to Joe Testosterone for a minute here. Please. I'm glad you lost your fucking Monday Night Football gig. You suck. I mean,
he has got another gig now. It's like American Ninja Warrior or some shit on like NBC or something. Have you seen that? He does that shit, like something like that.
No. Perfect. Look, he can be the next announcer on Iron Chef for all I give a flying fuck. I just want him off of ESPN. You're telling me that's the best you can produce. Period. Fucking guy, if he said bubble one more time on that broadcast, I was going to drive to... Here's how long that broadcast was. My significant other left here to go back home to get some of her things and affairs in order. She left and she drove to Vegas in the time span from my place. I almost wanted her to stop, knowing that she packs a firearm. Go in and put a fucking bullet in that dude's head. Like, fuck it. Like, I was so... We're in the bubble. By the way, let's talk about the bubble. I said this last night, the whole bubble thing. Well, let me tell you about the bubble. First of all, I don't even think Testosterone even knows the layout of the MGM. He's right above us in the bubble. There's nothing above the convention center, asshole. It's a suspended building unto itself. Are you saying that they're staying at the suites slightly behind you? Or are they back in the main hotel? They walk down a space-like tube across the street, get back into an elevator that's private, wrap their asses in clear cellophane, and then send them back up to the room. Because I know the layout of that place. It's a bubble. It didn't look like a bubble. I didn't see a spaceman suit. I didn't see the whole John Travolta bubble boy thing. I mean, fuck.
Not only that, I mean,
just shut up.
The main event, there's more people in the
all the dressing rooms.
Yeah, of Stevenson than there is in the whole arena. I was like, come on, you guys got to follow the rules when you're in that, close quarters like that. I mean, you at least make it look like you're trying. But I mean, they even had fucking Big Baby was there. Like, they just told it in the beginning of the telecast. They did, like Lee said, they said, oh, we have the fight, then we clean the whole ring, and we immediately escort the fighters back to the room. And then, like, an hour later, you got the co-main event guy hanging out with the main event guy. No mask, no.
Let's talk about
6 feet.
They were kind enough to take pictures of the whole cleaning of the ring. The only one, by the way, wearing a mask was Bob, because you know what? Bob is at risk. He's 175 years old, for God's sake.
Damn right.
Everybody who is above the age of 100, this is the clean down. Does anybody see a fucking cleaning product in their hand in this photo? Oh, we're going to use the green towel so they show up better on camera for all of you. Okay, Clorox, Sunlight. I mean, I listen to our president. Clorox and Sunlight.
You can't do it. He might get in the
Apparently,
fighter's
a
eye.
sham wow is wiping
That's
down
all
the
you
ring.
need. That's all you need, Lee. I can't risk a fighter
Sham
getting
wow.
Clorox in his eye.
Who knew?
You get it in his gloves.
Who knew? Who knew? Sham
It'll
wow.
dry. No? I mean, there was so much time in between the fights. They had plenty of time to dry. Shit.
Bob Aaron
We're
was
in the
like,
bubble.
Bob
Here
Aaron
at the
was
MGM
like, this
Convention
is for
Center.
fucking show. This is not real, people. You get fucking towels and you just wipe down the ropes. You're not ending my fight.
Yeah, right. No. Look, and if you're going to do that, here's a shout out to Top Rank. Get ShamWow as a sponsor, not Geico. You don't need a lizard. You need the fucking, and it's ShamWow. I mean, go with it. I mean, you got people in green shirts. You could have ShamWow on the back of their shirts.
And the commercials were pretty cheesy. So they could actually do that.
Oh my God. You don't know. I watched it on stream. The .com shit that I watched that they were advertising.
I think I was watching it too, bro.
Yeah.
Did you see the heat pad?
Oh my God.
Were you watching the heat pad?
Yes.
Where the guy comes in with the blower? I told Christina, why does he have a blower in the house? What the fuck? And it stays on. Oh, I think we were watching the same thing. I couldn't believe the commercials they were having. Very cheap. Very cheap. So I'm on with Shamu. They should have them as a sponsor.
All right.
Right where you guys are at.
Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with Shamu too. Shamu and ShamWow. It's a double hitter.
Can you imagine in the middle of the night? Lee might have started something here. Can you imagine that guy who sells that towel? He's like, this is a COVID-19 towel. It will clean up your ring, your octagon,
Special edition.
anything.
It's a special edition 2020.
Buy now, get another one for free.
Yeah. Only pay for shipping and handling.
Let's get to the no. Your first one's free. Just pay shipping and handling. Let's talk about the next problem that I had here. Who the fuck is the production designer of this fucking circus act? You're telling me of all the layouts you guys could have come up with, okay, of all the layouts, you literally picked the one that's closest to the last UFC event? Like, you couldn't figure out any other fucking layout to make, like, you couldn't bring the screens in, you couldn't put barriers up behind, you couldn't cut down, I don't know.
Lee, they can't have that many
people.
I don't know. They can't have that many workers. So it might have just been a one-time, we're going to put this up and both of you guys are going to get it.
I honestly feel, I swear to God, does it not feel like they just hired the same group that did Dana shit and they came in and dropped the same set minus the cage? It looked same.
It might not. Well, did the UFC fight in Vegas or is this the one in Florida, though?
No, it's Vegas now. It's at the Apex Training Center that they got here. So it's here now.
The last one at the only difference between the Apex has a really high ceiling, so it's got that weird cutaway with the really high ceiling. But when they shoot it from the side, everybody just gets all creative with the colors, and I swear to God, I'm going to put side-by-side shots up. They look the same. Oh, we need the screen right behind the guys. We need big blow-ups of them on either side of the ring. How about that really cool track shit? Let's throw a lot of that around there. People love that track shit like it's a concert.
Some of it, Lee, was for the effects, the visual effects for TV. I mean, you don't have the crowd.
And again,
you can't show superstars in the ring, right? I mean, so I think that's what some of that's about with that screen, bro, is for the visual effects for TV. I hear what you're saying. It all looks the same, but I think that's why they did it. One thing I'll get into with Dana, because we're on the UFC, Dana White this week came out firing back at everyone who's been saying they're having money problems. And this just ain't from Fight Net Radio. I guess Jones, McGregor, and the guy.
Jorge Masvidal.
There you go. Yeah, thank you, bro. They've all been pissed off, right? They're all been coming out publicly and mad. So Dana White responded. They want to
get paid and they want to go fight. I get it.
Yeah. So, but what a good interesting point he brought out in his argument was the fact that he cannot get fighters into America right now. They're really cracking down at the airports, letting guys in, and he's all, if I keep fighting here in America, I'm gonna use my American stable up in a matter of weeks or whatever. And when I read that, I immediately thought of Lee complaining all night about Top Rank not having fillers, not having, something to back up these fights that were ending so fast. If we took a regular fight card, most of the time around 11 to possibly 14 fights in one night, and did that 3 or 4 times, because we're doing 3 cards in 1 week. So let's do 3 cards 1 week, 14. You're looking at what are we looking there at men, right? Lee, do you have that number for me?
The number of what?
14 times 3.
42.
14 times 3.
That's 42
yeah,
American.
Miguel's not a banker. I'm a banker. It's kind of a thing. Miguel's on that. I'm just a banker.
Okay, well, either way, that's what I was getting at. That's
hold
how
on,
many.
Do you want me to check this? Hold on, because I can already see my notes from Sam Navajero happening right now. Hold on, Andrew. 14 times 3 in the Stephen Espinosa calculator. God damn it. Carry the 2. And the 6.
I'll be damned.
Apparently, Deontay Wilder's still going to make $16.5 million when he steps aside for Anthony Joshua. According to the Stephen Espinosa calculator.
That calculator
Shout
is
out
like
to
all
Sam
it's
Navajero.
out. That's all.
That's pretty accurate.
No,
Okay,
42.
all right, let's stay on topic.
You got 42 men. They're all supposed to be, here already, American stabled fighters. You know how fast he would go? I don't even know if Bob Arum has 42 Americans ready to fight right now. So the fillers are gone, right? They're relying on the 4 fights they have scheduled because they can't get a lot of fighters in right now. He has to be having the same problems that Dana White's having. And that's why Dana's ahead of Bob. And now they're fighting in Dubai, where I guess everyone's flying in from fucking everywhere. And they're not going to have any issues putting on fights. So there's a kudos to Dana White on that one. Yes. Yes, sir.
Fight Island, coming soon.
Yep.
A Fight Net Radio exclusive. All right. And because the only reason you listen to this show, you dumb-ass writers who won't be able to think of creative shit to write about tomorrow or today or whenever you do your ripping off of this show. Let us talk about this live remote to people's houses thing. I get, and trust me, there were minimum 2 ideas on the table during the fight for things that even I found offensive to do on today's show. Without a doubt. And I think Andrew's idea for a joke was more offensive possibly than my idea about talking about it on the show. And for those of you going, oh, how great is that? No. I know you guys won't believe this. I'm not a dumbass racist. I like pointing out dumb shit by dumb people. But Andrew and I were bouncing ideas when Timothy Bradley and Andre Ward were doing their "It's tough to be a black man." And I get that. I absolutely get that. And I know you're thinking, yes, Lee, you're a white guy. Of course you don't get that. Actually, I do. My grandfather's Native American Indian, full-blooded, who married a white woman, for God's sakes. In a time when that's so unheard of in Oklahoma that I don't even know how fucking balls-ass crazy he was. And if he didn't have 2 other brothers that were as balls-ass crazy as he was, he probably would have got shot, probably by one of my relatives. That's the life that I grew up in, where I learned about racism that goes back to, oh no, they came here, fucking pushed our asses out of Florida, stuck us in Oklahoma in a shithole, and we still got treated worse than everyone else.
Right.
So please, save it. I've heard it. I personally have heard it. I understand. And I've said this on every broadcast. And this is a shout out to Sam. Andrew was right. We're all Americans. We just got to nut up and we got to just change the way we do our shit. Okay? That's just it. No more this, that, or like everyone get on the page. Which is why, in a very long producer note from myself, we are not doing 2 jokes that, oh, I so want to know what Timothy Bradley was driving. I really want to know what he was driving that got him pulled over. I don't even have a lot of questions in my life for Timothy Bradley because personally I've met him outside of working, right, while eating hot wings. Dre is way more interesting. He is a lot of fun. He likes food. Fucking Bradley, first of all, is a vegan, so I'm going to kick your ass to the curb. We're not hanging out. Secondly, he's got the personality of sandpaper. Then you put his ass with Mark Kriegel, who's got a 5-second delay every time they cut to him, because I'm convinced I'm hearing, oh, yeah, the fight. Yeah, it's a great fight. We're in round 3, right? No, Mark, the fight ended in round. Okay. Allegedly. This time delay bullshit. Did I go on enough of a rant for you, Andrew, to cover exactly what goes on? Because there's no way I'm showing the video you wanted to play. No fucking way.
Let me tell you. Does Andre not still seem like he has a chip on his shoulder about his career, though? Right away, he went back to,
Absolutely,
I've always been that nice guy. Yeah, I've been that good guy. And, no one just wanted to buy my tickets.
Look, this whole evening, I am convinced was written by Bob Arum, which was, fuck him, fuck Floyd, fuck the bad guy. I want to hear about it all night. And I want to hear about the bubble. I want to hear the bubble every 5 minutes. And I want to hear how Shakur is better than Floyd. And Floyd plays a bad guy. And you, Trey, I pay you a lot of money, right? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to talk about being a good guy all night, too. And Kriegel, stop doing the fucking cocaine. Tell me that's not happening in the headset.
You're saying he just stays up and reads those books all day?
Those fake books? They're just fake. They're just for show.
Imagine him with a headset. He's literally Vince McMahon. He's literally Vince McMahoning this shit. Like, there had to be a production meeting. What are our bullet points? Well, we've got a lot of commercials for shitty products. We got that. What else have we got? Oh, we can do a 10 count for fighters you've never heard of. Ever. That list, okay, and before you guys start writing and shitting on that, and you cut a couple of names, come on.
Oh, you're saying on
that was a the
was...
remembrance wall. So here's, if you missed it because you walked to the liquor store like me, because I needed actually more alcohol to get through this event than I originally portioned. Did they just tie in Black Lives Matter with the death of boxers over the past COVID crisis? And people who I think died from COVID, is like, they did this little triplet 10 count.
Yeah, they kind of stood away from it all. If you really look at it, Andre's talking about his career as a good guy not getting paid, and Timothy Bradley's talking about getting pulled over one day in Palm Springs. They weren't talking about real serious subjects there, right? They didn't really hit on the George Floyd issue, right, or the young lady that has now been shot during a raid. Brianna, I believe her name is.
Around it. I mean,
they did. They truly did, and that was probably. I think Andre and Timothy knew what they were doing when they did it. Come on, we all know they have an opinion about what is going on in the world. We all know they do, and I think they chose to stay away.
What? Nobody has an opinion.
I think ESPN.
Want to know what the opinion is? I'm the greatest promoter ever. It's the best night on ESPN since the last time I was on ESPN.
Look, football is going to get a real big backlash. They start doing this kneeing thing in the beginning of the season. I'm dead serious. This is going to get ugly for football real fast here, especially because a lot of fans that were on the fence with football have been doing other things without sports in the world now for a long time. I think 9 weeks now. Football's got a rude awakening coming. I think boxing's trying to stay away from that. Yeah, they let Shakur do his thing, but I'm saying ESPN overall, I think they wanted to stay away from it last night. That's just my opinion. That's what I feel. Hey, look, they didn't go into that. They went into the COVID-19 deaths, like Lee saying. You didn't see anything about what's going on with Mr. Floyd or his case. And even though earlier in the day, they announced they were talking about Mr. Floyd on ESPN because he had ties to basketball and I believe it was football as a youth. So ESPN had brought him up before, but not this boxing telecast. And I just think boxing, maybe everyone's gonna, look at football and think a little before they touch this subject, unless they truly have to.
Miguel, your feelings as a proud Hispanic American.
And
if you've got a moment
on that subject.
By the way, as a note, if you've got a very strong speech in you, Sam's gonna love it. He just is.
Oh shit! Damn it! Sorry, I'm gonna disappoint Sam here because I don't have that strong of a speech. The thing is, like, on the subject of me, I didn't get pulled over, but I do live with my folks, and we do have, the Dish Latino package. So I got absolutely none of what Bradley said. I got none of what fucking Ward said. All I got was, exactly. All I got was the Spanish translators, right? It's on ESPN Deportes, and the commentators were that guy Jorge Eduardo Sanchez and Juan Manuel Marquez. Which there was a quick little like awkward moment because if you guys remember behind Timothy Bradley, he has like a fucking portrait or a photo framed of him like fucking up Marquez. So the other commentator actually mentioned that to Marquez. Yes. He's like, oh look what's over his shoulder. So like it got kind of awkward for a quick second. Like Marquez was like, no. Did you really have to bring it up? But it was there clearly. But that's really all I got, honestly, because all I heard was, and oddly, they didn't mention the word bubble like at all. I mean, maybe they did a couple of times, but seriously, dude, like they did not even mention the word bubble at all. It was like funny as hell.
So often. You think that text I sent was a joke? I'm telling you, I counted at least 20 bubble references. And by the way, is it just me or is this photo of Bob got a really long thumbnail?
He's got long thumbnails. He hasn't been to the salon. And look at the hair, facial hair.
Yeah,
he's rocking a full beard.
Wow. Oh my God, Bob.
Yeah, the convalescent
home there.
Right now in the convalescent home, you have to stay in your rooms. So he can't go to the salon. He can't go to the barber shop.
But he could cut his own damn nails. I mean, at the very least, he can cut his own damn nails.
That man is 90
right?
years old.
He can shave.
I don't think he has the pressure to pull the clips.
Yikes. How about shaving? How about like an electric razor or something?
It could be the eyes. I don't know, Miguel. He's 90, bro. That man is
That's
90.
a good point. That's a good point. You can see. All right.
Hey, you guys want to hear a story? One time my grandpa was throwing away some guns, right? This was before he checked out. He was still healthy, but he knew.
Why does it always include guns?
So he's got a nice Remington pump sitting in the pile, bro. This thing's like brand new. My grandpa's hella old. I said, Grandpa, why are you getting rid of this one? He said, it doesn't work anymore. I said, what do you mean? He goes, pull it back. It won't cock. I did it, right? Pulled the trigger, fires a pin. I said, Grandpa, what do you mean it didn't? He said, did you really do it? I said, yeah. He grabbed it. He's just struggling, you guys. He didn't have the strength to pump it anymore. I was like, I said, Grandpa, can I have it? He goes, yeah. I said, thank you. But yeah, man. And that was him in his probably early 80s. That man's in his late 80s.
Yeah. God damn. Man.
I just want soup. Please, dear God.
Now hey Lee, your
put
fucking
me down.
Soup,
I'm not feeling well.
Your soup joke never looked more true than this photo right here. Damn it to hell, Lee.
With the
Fuck
droopy
you, Lee.
eye and the whole thing.
I can't believe you did it to him. You have now made Bob Arum fucking an elderly man. He ate soup later that night. He ate soup later that night.
God. All right. Let's get to this. It won't take long. The press release is only 12 seconds long. We have a real. Am I not joking? Look at this. Is the actual press release of the entire night. I can.
Hey, that's what you get when you don't feed us, bro.
Dude, we could start a stopwatch to get through this.
You don't have media at fight. This is the report you get.
All right, shout out to Evan Korn. Bro, add an extra paragraph. That's all I'm saying. Quatavious Cash started off our evening taking on Eric Metcalf, Calvin Metcalf.
Yes.
Johnny Cash.
Tang Po, basically.
Shout out to an Eric Metcalf reference. They put it at the bottom.
Hey, you guys really didn't think Calvin... I thought Calvin Metcalf really did look like Mr. Burns' kid from Simpsons, though, too. You didn't see Mr. Burns and that guy. That guy had a weird ass look, man. And then he actually
did, yeah.
this. They didn't write it from top down. So they started from the top, then they worked backwards. But Kelvin wasn't first. It was
the Ramirez.
I'm just going to do it in the order of the actual fights. Let's start. Yeah, it was Robles Ramirez, right? Taking on Yuri, I'm not a terrorist, Andujar. Yeah, I know. Everybody calm down. Allow me to be white.
So
two-time Cuban Olympic gold medalist Robles Ramirez, who pulled off something that was so Cuban that even I'm sure you two didn't get. Is that the first time we've seen a gold grill mouthpiece in boxing? I feel like it is.
Very good. I didn't see that one.
That is very Miami / Cuban.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
Hey, mommy, come over here, mommy.
Mang, hey, Mang.
And if you think I'm joking, go back and watch the tape. He had wait, hold on. I have photos. Let's see. I'll bet you I'm right. This dude had a gold grill as a mouthpiece. And let's talk about, we'll start with you, Andrew. Oh, no, I'm just clicking backwards. Calm down. Let's start right there with that extraordinary moment. Ramirez, all 56, I don't even have to look at it. All 56 seconds of the beginning of our night. I'll start with you, Andrew. Did we learn anything out of the guy who stupidly lost his first fight ever as a professional and then is now 3-0 with 3 KOs? I love how they, by the way, shout out for the only writing that happened. Well, his last 3 fights are 3-0 with 3 KOs. Yeah, but he lost his first fight. I mean, please, people, he did. He's got an attitude issue. It's not a training issue. I saw it when the dude was in the ring, for God's sakes. I'll start with you, Andrew. What'd you think of Mr. Ramirez, or as I like to say, Shakir's future getting punked by guy? Because that's clearly what we're doing here.
Yeah, no, there's nothing you could take away from a fight this fast. It was a single right hand, correct?
Left.
Yeah,
left hand.
Yeah, it was a couple of them, as a matter of fact, because he dropped them twice, I think, and ultimately he finished them with that same left. But I think he knocked him down twice, if I'm not mistaken.
It was a body shot there it is, gold grill. Gold fucking grill.
Oh, man.
Gold fucking grill mouthpiece. I have never seen that shit. And guess what? His fucking name, his nickname is fucking in that too. I can't even make this shit up. Where do you even go for that stuff?
Well, that's good that he's 3-1-3. I mean, just keep winning. Are you sure that's gold, Lee? It just looks yellow. It was gold, gold, or is it just?
Maybe he didn't brush his teeth. Maybe. The idea is gold, Andrew. Pretty sure we're going for gold here.
Whatever. Oh yeah.
His nickname.
Yeah, you're right.
Miguel, what do you think of Mr. Ramirez?
Well, I mean, another southpaw, another Cuban southpaw. So, I mean, that's good, right? I mean, we didn't really learn much, but just to kind of like touch on what Andrew said earlier. Tonight was or last night was for these guys to shine. These are the fights that they're supposed to win. These are the fights that they're supposed to look sensational in. So they certainly did that. So I mean, they're doing their part, of course, in the star making process. And I loved it. I mean, I dug Ramirez. That fucking left hand. I fight in the southpaw stance, so that's my thing. Even though I'm naturally right-handed, I do the southpaw thing. So every time I notice southpaws, I'm like, oh shit, okay, let me take notice of this guy. But I dug it. I mean, like, we know that Cubans tend to be, very well defensive fighters and are kind of passive sometimes and a little patient, like Lara and even Luis Ortiz. But he came out, right from the jump and started throwing that left hand, and I enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, we didn't learn much, but it was fun as hell seeing that knockout.
Ramirez, after the fight, said, "It was an honor to be the first fight back, and I am proud of the performance I gave tonight. My pro debut is long behind me." No, dude, it's like 4 fights ago.
It's like 4 fights ago.
It's not. You're talking like you're 15-0 and you just took the IBF or something. Sorry, no. I am progressing with every fight. I hope to return shortly. I have a great trainer in Ismael Salas, who continues to add dimension to my game. He is the man to lead me to a world title. Always when you fuck up, change the trainer. He's certainly right out of the playbook in that topic. That takes us to our next compelling fight of the evening. Quatavius Cash and Kelvin Metcalf. They don't even have quotes from this. This fight was such a shit show. First of all, awesome use of elbows, holding, and headbutts by Cash in what turned into a 6-round technical decision win over Calvin Metcalf. I start with you, Andrew. What'd you think?
Very boring performance from Cash. He was very lazy in there. He didn't do a lot. I thought Metcalf was really coming on at the end of this fight. I thought that's why they stopped it too, to be honest with you. They didn't want that last 3 rounds for whatever reason. It just seemed like it was a fast stoppage by Nady when there was, like Metcalf said, I only got 3 minutes. Yeah. Had no idea why they stopped it. And I just wasn't impressed at all with really either guy. Cash, he looks like he's one of those guys that performs to the level of his opponent, and if that's the case, he'll never be anything in this sport. You can't get by in this sport doing that. He almost lost. To me, he almost lost last night, to be honest with you. A lot of those, when to be honest with you guys, that scorecard shit, this is the fight way before the cut stoppage. This is the one where I was thinking you guys were going to be right on, because this fight was close. It looked like Cash was the favorite, right? They had, it just doesn't look like there's any market in Metcalf. Sorry, I can't sell a ticket with the guy that looks like that and fights like that. I'm dead serious. So you think Cash is the favorite going in here, and though a lot of those rounds are really close without the crowd screaming and shit, you could have been giving those rounds to Mr. Burns. That's Mr. Burns, man. That's Mr. Burns if he slept with the maid. I'm just saying. I'm gonna be a dick.
Wow. The longest fight of the evening, Miguel. What'd you think about this fight that sucked an hour out of our life?
Well, I mean, it did definitely suck an hour out of our fucking life. Like I definitely wasn't impressed with Cash. I mean, it was like we're saying, these are supposed to be squash matches, right? It's supposed to make the other guy look good, and Cash didn't look all that well. I mean, me and my dad were joking. We're like, wouldn't it be some shit if the judges actually gave it to fucking, Tong Po, because he's coming forward. He was coming forward. That's pretty much what he was doing. He was coming forward, and it was just all right, well, all night, right? Exactly. And he was getting hit. Of course, he was getting hit, and that's what caused eventually the headbutt, with the clash and the bloody face. But like, I didn't see anything, spectacular out of Cash. I was thinking, honestly, he was going to be able to take him out in 2-3 rounds. After I saw the first round, I was like, all right, this fight isn't going to last how much longer. And, he wasn't able to even, keep him off. Wasn't quite. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're right. You're right when you said you thought he was going to take him out. He fell in love with this power. That is one thing that he did. He went wrong in this fight, and they should have brought him back to his game plan. But you're right. He started landing home run hits on Metcalf and was like, okay, I'm going to get him out of here eventually with one of these. And you can hit this dude with the bat. He wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever.
I can definitely say that about Kelvin.
Yeah.
It was a snooze fest. And a note to Calvin Metcalf and his corner. Shave the man's fucking head. Give him some dignity.
It's Tong Po, man. It's
Christ.
I start thinking my guy has head damage. Yeah, I don't know, Lee. To me, that's a little Britney Spears right there, man. Like, we got to either take it off or do something. We can't go out in national television with a hairstyle like this. You got me fucking tripping, man. Fucking
oh my God.
Training a fucking patient. Look like you just got out of the mental hospital, like, seriously.
It looks like he's going to the electric chair. They're going to shave half of his fucking head. To go to the fucking electric chair. Shave half of his head while they're at it.
But Bob's on one more fight. Judge, give me one more, please.
Hashtag MTK. You guys think I'm joking about this MTK thing. You never see those guys from the MTK who lose ever again. Where do you think they go? I'm just saying, you want to know what's in your Cliff Bar? I'm just telling you, MTK and Cliff Bar have a deal. Which takes us to our next one-round fight of the evening. Literally,
this was the single right hand, right?
This is mind-boggling to me.
Yes.
Literally.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was, you're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All
right, let's talk about Guido the Killer Pimp.
Not too much to talk about.
We learned nothing.
We learned nothing.
Well, I thought it was hilarious that I was actually walking out of my car and I already had a note from Miguel going, "Never mind, it's over."
Yeah.
I said,
"Yeah, dude. Dude, Donald Haynes wanted nothing. He wanted nothing a part of that ring, man. Hey, even when he got up, it was like he was like, "Come on, ref, stop the fight." "Oh, wait, you want me to do this? Look, I'll wiggle my legs. Now will you stop the fight?" All right, he stopped it. Did it not hella look like he played up to that stoppage? Like, he didn't want to tell them.
He was looking for the door. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it really looked like that, Lee. It was bad. This fight right here was like,
here's the best part.
You did watch? Okay, you got home.
Shitty fight.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they replayed it 18 times to kill the next half hour. Let's talk to Guido directly. Guido, how do you? I don't know. How do you say in English? I'm happy. I'm going to be here all summer. I have a little girl. I love Bob Arum, America #1. It was almost, if you could paint, if you're Italian and you're offended by that whole sequence, you should be. If you created like a bad Sacha Baron Cohen Italian boxer, that was the dude being interviewed. Like, it was almost, let me be, how do you say, sexy American. I want to be Tyson Fury best. He's the best. He's just the best. I was so enthralled with his interview, I really thought for a minute it's Sacha Baron Cohen. He's doing a heavy, like, this is going to be a goof. This is the next movie. He's going to be, somehow, he's digitally reshaped himself into a heavyweight boxer. Yes, right. He is Borat. I swear to God. I get that the dude doesn't know English or anything. And
he's
sadly, I don't think even Guido realizes that he's getting set up to get beat up by Tyson Fury. Bob has been buying heavyweights to get beat up by Tyson. Like,
this is the next Otto Wallin right here. This is the next Otto Wallin right there.
Yep.
This is Otto Wallin. Bob's gonna get him 2 or 3 wins.
He's a big dude too. Wasn't he like 6'6"? I think they had him at 6'6", something like that. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he was huge. When he was being interviewed by Bernardo Osuna, he looked fucking huge, man.
Yeah.
No, and here's the truth. I mean, Bob will keep him long enough to know 2 things, because the kind of the under radar thing that nobody was talking about. This dude went to the Olympics twice as a heavyweight. This dude's not a joke, okay? And Bob loves Olympians. Like, he literally gets a chubby in the morning for guys who come out of the Olympics. If this dude actually has real power, right, and Tyson Fury is really only going to take 2 or 3 really big paydays, and he's not going to want to work out anymore. We all know this. He's a big fat fucker. He wants to go back to his wife and his kids, and apparently making, semi, like, softcore porn with his wife on YouTube and getting fat. Like, that's his future with hundreds of millions. If he beats Joshua, if the reports of what are going on today are true, and he has somehow magically gotten around a shit fight with Deontay Wilder, because let's be honest,
still fighting Deontay. No, he's still fighting him, Lee. That fight still has to take place, and then he moves on to Joshua.
Before the end of the year. Yep.
Right. I don't think he has a problem with either of those, but the reality is he's really got to train for both of those fights. He can't fuck that up. If he wants to get into that little pit of clearing out the division and getting go fuck you money, to make go fuck you money as the heavyweight champion, you kind of got to beat everybody. Like, there's kind of no way around it. There's a reason why Klitschko, the second time he lost, 1, he was married to a movie star. Number 2, he had go fuck you money. And as a heavyweight, it's the only division that you can make go fuck you money. And this could either be Tyson's replacement or, sadly, somebody to get beat up as a main event in Vegas next year. I mean,
you would be highly mistaken if you don't think top-ranking Bob Arum has sat Mr. Fury and his wife down and showed him the roster of heavyweights that are up right now and how much money he potentially could make in slaughtering everybody.
About think about what they've done. They made Otto Wallin into something. They're turning, Guido the Killer Pimp here into something. There were rumors they were talking to Big Baby Miller at one point. we can talk about the next heavyweight
signed
fight,
him.
the
So
real
they signed
baby
him.
Miller.
Top Rank signed him.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They've got both babies.
Yep.
So we're gonna get the battle of the babies. That's gonna happen. And I said this last night as a joke. I need the real Big Baby to fight Big Baby with Jim Gaffigan as the special timekeeper, who is King Baby. I need this to happen. I've never really wanted anything. I like the specialty matches when I watch wrestling. This is the Trump versus McMahon kind of thing that I really like at WrestleMania. I need this to happen in boxing. And somebody at Top Rank's got to go, oh, the battle of the babies. Yeah, I'm there. Sorry. I'll be there.
And then they're going to play like Eminem and shit and be like, will the real baby please stand up and have one of those?
Yeah. And rewrite it. How much could that cost?
That's Tory. That's going to be his joke right there. He'll come in with that one.
Testosterone?
Yeah.
No.
All night.
No way.
Will the
Hold on. Let me do it
baby
correctly.
Please stand up.
You got it wrong, Andrew. Mark Kriegel, what do you think about the fight? Will the real baby please stand up?
Yeah.
Please stand up. Please stand up. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Please stand up. And by the way, I'll say it again. Allegedly. Fuck, Mark. Just pay attention to the show. All right? I'll stop doing the fucking cocaine jokes and look like you're sitting on a fucking stick for the entire night. We won't even get into the books that Andrew was examining like a mental patient. Please just watch when they cut to you. No 5-second delay. Dre can do it. Timmy can do it. Come on, why can't you do it, bro? What is that 5-second delay? That we don't. We're in LA. We have real. I mean, maybe he has Cox. Maybe that's what it is. Shout out to Cox Communication. Maybe he has Cox and he just has a shitty Wi-Fi reception. Or I would even have to believe for this that they were probably. Now they would have used cable. They would have done cable to cable on something like this on a virtual private network on a real feed. That's how I would do it. So there's no excuse. Bradley's in fucking shithole Palm Springs where it's 120 degrees and he seems to be right on it. He answers the questions immediately. Dre is up in the Bay Area and, well, we've talked many times about the Bay Area. It's either really good or really bad. And generally, if you got to rate it on out, I assume you guys have cable that seems to work. And Joe, I got to stick up my, Mark, I got to stick up my ass Kriegel and a bag of cocaine in my pocket, allegedly. What's the 5-second delay, bro? What is that? The fucking delay thing made me crazy all night. Mark, what do you think of the fight? Yeah. Manny Pacquiao looks great in the ring tonight, guys. I mean, he's literally going to become my new running joke. I mean, it's no longer. I don't even. Wow, we spent more time on this fight than I didn't even think we could spend on it. Guido the Killer Pimp. And if you don't change your nickname to the Killer Pimp, I don't even know what you're doing.
Go back to if you go back, look, there was nothing wrong with Hainsworth. Look at him. Go back four photos.
Bye.
Look at that. Look at yeah.
Where do I get my?
Hey, do you pay me?
Where's my check? Where's my check?
Yeah, it was bad.
Shouldn't that be just JGP instead of JBT? I like JGP. Just getting paid. Yeah, good. You should call Oscar. He likes that. Drop weight, make weight, get paid. Learn the De La Hoya way. Guido. How do you say America #1? Really? That's what you came up with, huh? Really? Really? That was the whole big night for you guys. One round, which takes us to our second shit show. I don't even know what to say about this fight. Jerk Anderson taking on Johnny Lang, and I'm just saying that is fun. Yet again, another shit show. I don't know who they thought that they were gonna get as. At this point, I can safely say the Amsterdam Black Label helped a lot. This big baby thing is, fuck. Where do you want me to start? Wearing the Patriots jersey to the ring, or having a fucking Patriot jersey on it in a town that's now Raiders? Way to endear yourself to the Vegas fan. Way to go. Fine job. I mean, literally, could you have found something more offensive to a town that just got the Raiders? I mean,
No,
I don't know.
No. Hold the fuck on. Don't even get me started with that. Offensive? There is nobody in Las Vegas that's offended by a New England Patriot fan. They're not the Raiders. They're not the Oakland Raiders. They've got a clean slate out there. They don't even know about that fucking that game. Yeah, the 50 Raider fans that do live in Las Vegas, yeah, they probably know. But no, not at this new stadium. There will be no.
Andrew, take a deep breath.
Yeah,
take a deep breath because you don't know this about Vegas.
Las Vegas is a bunch of fucking different NFL fans that move to a city. Please.
You're wrong. You're wrong. I'm going to prove this out to you right now because
whatever.
I have boots on the ground. Miguel.
Yeah.
Is North Las Vegas perhaps not the most urban part of all of Las Vegas?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Well, there's certain areas of it. I mean, like border, right where you enter it. Yes. So you go beyond that, then it's like, all right, it's the non-urban area. But at the very beginning,
one block
yes, it is.
past wait, let's be honest. One block past downtown, and continuing down Las Vegas Boulevard.
I don't get where you're going with that. So what's that mean? So because they're poor down there,
really,
they're Raider fans.
Really?
What are you going with?
Yeah. I don't want to break it to you.
No, that's
the same thing in San
stupidest
Diego.
shit I've ever heard.
The closer you get to the border, Andrew, the more Raider fans you get.
We were in LA, Lee. We were in LA. We won a Super Bowl there, Lee. That's why you have Raider fans, not because they're fucking poor. Oh my god, this game.
It's not because they're poor. Breath. Take a
or
breath.
not what? Because they live in the ghetto? What? Because they're getting closer to the border? What?
No.
What? Why are they more Raider fans?
I have said many times on this show that urbanites, young social urbanites, based on Hispanic or African American heritage, seem to cling to the Raiders a wee bit more than any other team on the planet.
Not in Las Vegas. They cling to whoever they were representing when they moved to Las Vegas. You make it seem like Las Vegas is a bunch of homegrown people. I'm sorry. Have you seen how much Las Vegas has grown? Have you seen how much Las Vegas has grown since 2000? Seriously.
Did you know there? I get you're angry about losing your team.
No, I'm not angry about that, but you're totally wrong on this. Nobody's giving up their team for the Raiders. There's nobody that was like, yeah, bro, I moved to Vegas, a Denver Bronco, but now because the Raiders are here, I'm a Raider fan, Holmes. No, there's none of that going on. I used to be a Atlanta Falcons fan, but now that Mark came, I'm a Raider fan. No, stop it. Willie is not a Raider fan now. Willie's not. Call Willie right now and ask him if he's a Raider fan.
No, he's not leaving San Francisco. Look, I get that. I get that there are people who will not leave their team.
Yeah, come on, man. Hey, Lee.
But I'm telling you, you are so wrong about the number of people.
No, their parents, their kids. Their kids will be. Oh, I tell Will that all the time. All of his kids are going to be Raiders. Don't get the shit twisted. When the Raiders start winning, those kids want to see winners, man. They don't want to see losers. The Raiders just need to win. They'll bring that whole generation with them. No, don't get it. No, I hear you on that. But they're not. They're going to be years before they get homegrown Las Vegas Raider fans. It ain't happening overnight.
Flag is up and away they go.
Yeah, whatever.
At the first turn, it's the Raiders and the Patriots.
Fucking yeah.
Oakland is still very, very bitter. It's Oakland on the outside. Oakland's making a break for the corner. And the Raiders still make it to Las Vegas in a $1.8 billion stadium that Andrew said that they will never afford.
Well, hey, listen. No, bullshit. They can't afford it. You think they can afford it? They can't afford it. He got it done, though. You see, Mark's Monopoly money got it done. So kudos to Mark for getting it done. Now, the fucking streets aren't done. The freeway isn't done. They still don't have an off-ramp leading to that stadium or a new one. So there's a lot of things that still need to be done. But the stadium's up. He don't have the keys. You do know that, Lee, right? Mark doesn't have he can't walk into his own stadium without being escorted. You do know that, right? It's not his yet, but he's got the building up. It's all looking fine and dandy. We'll see how this new stadium thing goes, and even if there is going to be an NFL season, seriously, Goodell's kind of getting a backlash for the backpedaling he did. You already got players saying they're going to be protesting. I don't know, man. I don't know where the NFL is going to be at, Lee, so we'll see. He needs 46 sellouts a year. 46 of them. It's the worst contract in America. Don't say he got shit done.
Miguel, because I'm going to die from liver damage before COVID's over. Are you writing down all the hot buttons on Andrew so that you can continue this, so that Sam will have something to write about? Because this is literally Sam's favorite part of the show. Bar none. Bar none. This is literally an entire text bubble of him telling me just how much fun it is that I can, like, twist Andrew's nipple this hard every single time.
You know what I hate is I say I'm not
flying fucks.
I say I'm not going to let you do it too. You know when you're fucking poking, poking the bear last night with the Dana shit. I seen you. I see you, Lee. I said I'm not going to do it. Not going to fucking do it.
Wait, Andrew, I don't want to break it to you. When my daughter goes to school in Utah and I move to Mount Charleston, I'm buying season seats and I'm buying the jersey. Like, I'm going full on Raider. I'm selling out on the. I'm done with the Chargers. They've fucked me so many times. I'll pick a new team. You don't know what it's like to be fucked by a team. You really don't know. You have no idea what it's like to go to a stadium where you're the only fan for the home team at the game. Okay.
Right.
And I watched that since they've been in LA. And if they think they're going to go fill up their $2 billion stadium with Charger fans, they're out of there. If I told you what they were offering for real Charger seats right now during COVID to try to sell it, it's even more ridiculous than when you were buying those family packs during the losing season. Like, I can buy real 50-yard line seats about $55 a game with the whole tech service and the waitress and all the horse shit. Because the Chargers ain't going to fill their stadium ever. I'm going to be a Raider fan. I'm going to move to Vegas, go live on Mount Charleston where it's 20 degrees cooler, get to my daughter in about 4 or 5 hours, be a Raider fan.
Whatever.
I'm going to do this show, and I'm going to laugh every week because the Raiders are going to be winners when they move to Vegas. I just need them to wait 2 years. Because when they do, Andrew will literally be beside himself at that point. So, Miguel, did you get all the notes? I mean, I can't.
I did. Yes, I was making notes. I was trying to write and type. I was doing both simultaneously while I was listening. So, note to self. Got it.
And if you notice, we're not talking about the guy you work for, Dan Rayfield, anymore, because according to Sam Navajaro, shout out to Sam, our producer, who listens to these shows and gives us very coherent notes so that you have a better show. 1, I shouldn't do more inside jokes. 2, the Tracy movement was only funny to me. And 3, keep that Andrew off every chance you get. It's the best thing ever on the show. And Andrew, once again, you did not disappoint.
He said, "Don't be a bully." See, I caught one.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Told me I was fat shaming Dan. He goes, "At this point, I think you're fat shaming Dan." And I actually wanted to write back, "Yes, yeah." He doesn't have a job. I still can't believe that he's married. Like, to me, that's. So, do you want to know why I'm with the one? You guys have seen the redhead. I'm going to tell you why I'm with her. She was driving back to go get her stuff to come down here and live on the beach. She stopped to have food in Barstow. And she goes, "There are 2 400-pound people sitting next to me, and I want to know how they have sex." I said, "That's why I love you." And she goes, "I really want to go ask them, what do you think?" And there was really part of me that was going to go, we should go ask. Because I have ideas on how fat people fuck.
Record it, exactly, and film it.
Right? Like, we all have theories on what happens when people get that fat. I'm sure they have sex. I'm sure they do. But there's not someone on top and someone on the bottom. Like, I assumed I had to give her kind of I said, I suspect it's kind of a doggy thing. I suspect.
Yeah.
It's my guess.
Or it's a spoon thing. It could be a spoon thing. No one's on top. I don't know if they could sustain the other person's weight.
Would work, but
I suspect
you got
it's
to
the
move
spoon.
bellies out of the way. You really have to move bellies out of the way at that point. And I picture Dan Rayfield's wife, who actually, and I don't know what she looks like, and I'm not shaming her at all. This is just my own personal image, so everybody take a breath. I picture her as having an eating disorder the other way, and she's like literally wasting away in this little tiny woman, and she's married to this big giant man. And yes, Sam, I'm fat shaming at this moment. She has to move that belly out of the way to go find
You know what I gotta Google?
Like she's got to go in there. She's got to go in there like a fucking doctor. She's got to
She
go.
probably puts him on his back.
You got to go find
Price
that
is
shit
way
under
down.
there. Well, I've said it a million times. If you're so fat, which, by the way, 2 summers ago I was that fat, and you can no longer see your dick, you need to lose weight. And if you don't believe it, go visit Andrew Lapache's timeline and go see what Batley looked like, because I'm not into that anymore. Can't see your dick, the game's over. That's what I'm saying to you people. That's the tip of the day from Fight Net Radio. Takes us to our main event of the evening.
I got to Google it now. You made me very curiously.
What she looks like? Type in Dan
what
Rachel's
two
wife.
400-pounders look like.
Oh, you might have to go to
my
Pornhub for that. I don't think.
I'm sure she was exaggerating. I was gonna ask for a photo. I mean, I'm sure you could type in how do fat people fuck and probably get a tutorial on it. I don't want to break it to you. I guarantee it's on Pornhub, and it's probably some kind of kink that people are into. Yeah, I want to watch fat people
You'd
fuck.
probably learn more by watching the Pornhub than you would going to Google.
Like, do you just put your whole stomach on her back? You know what I mean? Because then you moved your tummy,
You
her
looked it up.
tummy.
It's no.
It's like a
well,
blanket.
I assume it's.
I mean, you're talking. You're warm
First of
and
all,
you're getting it. That's pretty cool. That's an advantage.
Well, first of all, let me white shame for a while. Generally speaking, the only people who get that fucking fat are white people, right?
Oh, here we
From
go.
eating mac and cheese
and hot dogs.
I have to offend equally. So, and generally speaking, they're all from Florida. Shout out to Florida. I assume you pick up your fat ass belly and you drop it onto her ass, like over the top, and you put the ashtray next to it and your beer right next to that. You just go to work. I mean, you can't do a lot of work that way because you're going to get tired and sweaty. And fat people sweating is just awful. I mean, just, God damn. There you go. Good visual for you all. Hope you enjoyed it. Why are we telling you this? Because we spent 4 hours to get to Shakur Stevenson in literally the most uneventful Shakur. Look, at least it was.
You guys are right. Pornhub's the first one. Fat people fucking porn.
I knew it. They're still number one.
Of course. All right, let's talk about the shadow who didn't get out of the way of a single punch of Shakur Stevenson, which, by the way, was the only interesting note of the evening, was having Miguel translate Caraballo's trunks for me. Between that and hearing about the bubble a lot during the fight, and why don't we see him fight again this summer? And isn't he better than Floyd Mayweather? Fuck, how many? They actually made a graphic to show Floyd Mayweather's stats compared to Shakur's stats. And here's the difference. Shakur has not been hit yet. Look, and I get it's based on his skill, so everybody just back away from the Deontay's dead, long live Shakur. Great. I'm behind that movement. Okay? If you need a very positive, good role model, Andre Ward, Shakur Stevenson, get away from the Deontay Wilders and the Floyd Mayweathers. Jump on the Shakur train. I love it. I love the whole package. This guy hasn't been hit. I mean, let's just be brutally honest here. Nobody has really hit him yet. And as much as I want to shit on Floyd, I've seen Floyd get hit, and he can take a pretty good punch.
I want to be fair to Deontay. Stevenson's already been involved in a court case where his friend beat the shit out of a girl in front of him. He does nothing. It's on videotape. We went over this.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Deontay's never done. So let's just, Deontay might be a character and, all the other things on camera, but out of the ring, Deontay's a cool dude, never been in trouble, takes care of his family. So Stevenson, he is now the good guy, but yeah, he had his already one run-in with the law. I don't think he did time. He had to pay for hospital bills or something. Probably got sued, but that did happen. I think it was last year even when this took place.
And I'm sure we covered it. I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
If I was picking someone,
his friend's hella weak.
I'd get.
Oh, his friend's hella weak. He
sure,
was the one in the wife.
I don't want to break it to you. We probably did 3 or 4 shows on it. Probably.
Yes, he had the wife beater on, and he's slugging her, and she never falls, dude. She takes all of his shots, bro. Yeah, they're in a parking garage.
So you go out. So great move, good PR move by Bob.
Yep.
Get Dre. Go get Dre. Let's get a little religion into his life. Let's put a little SOG in his world. Let's just remake him. He's the anti-Floyd Mayweather. Voila. Is he? Let's start with this. I'll start with this question. Miguel, we'll start with you. Is this the next Floyd Mayweather? Are we really looking at that? He said in his biggest Joe testosterone voice.
I don't know. I don't like, I remember seeing Floyd, you know, like a little bit later on. I think the first time I ever saw Floyd, if I remember correctly, when I was younger, was when he fought Angel Manfredi. So I was like 98-ish, I think. So he was coming up. I don't like, just that fight is more to me more impressive than what I saw last night with Stevenson. So, I mean, like, I don't want to say no. I don't want to say yes, because he still has a lot to show. You know, he still has to get hit. We still have to see how he can take a punch. And to his credit, you know, his defense is pretty good. You know, he's been avoiding punches, so it's not like people aren't trying to fucking hit him. But, I mean, when you got, you know, opponents like Caraballo yesterday, then, yeah, they're not going to land. But I don't know. I'm always against the next person, and just be you, you know, and do your fucking thing. And if you can make as much money as that guy that you're being compared to, great, you know, by all means. But in my personal opinion, I would say no. I don't think he's the next Floyd. I mean, not to say that he's not good, and not to say that he won't be nearly as good as Floyd. This is coming from someone who is not really a big fan of Floyd in general. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. But you know, maybe people will disagree. But I just don't feel. I don't feel it's that impressive. At least not yet.
In remembrance of last night's fight, Andrew will now be officially renamed Dre. Dre, how do you feel?
No, will he be the next Floyd? We don't know. What we do know is that Shakur don't like being compared to Floyd Mayweather, and I like that about him. He's trying to be his own man. He's trying to be his own fighter. Well, it's nice to put him in the same category as a great like Floyd. You don't want to have his whole career chasing Floyd's name. That's not going to get him anywhere on his own. So I like that about Stevenson. Look, the not getting hit, nothing wrong with it. The guys are throwing punches. They have two hands. They have speed. They're professional fighters, and they're just not touching this guy. I mean, come on. The number is 4 punches per round. That's sickening. You know,
yeah, they keep doing the stat from one of the fights where one guy didn't hit him at all. He's got amazing stats, and he's got amazing speed.
And he showed it a lot last night. His reflexes, how quick he is, and then he can slap you twice. Comes right back, pop, pop. For me, it was a thing of beauty. Like, it almost had me starting to think that Top Rank is actually plotting against Teofimo López. Like, they don't have him the favorite against Lomachenko. I started thinking those thoughts while I was watching Stevenson dismantle this young man in front of us. So I think he's the future. I think his name is not going anywhere for the next 10 years as long as he stays out of trouble and stays in the gym, stays dedicated. So, yeah, he's going to be here for a while. We'll see how great he becomes.
Well, Andrew, let me ask you something. In the what he fought, Stevenson fought last night at 130. If I'm not mistaken, he has a belt at 126. So for him to go up against either Loma or even Teofimo, he's gonna have to go up to 135. Do you think he'd do that? You think? I mean, I guess it's obviously the big fight, but like right now, to my knowledge, at least what they said last night, he's not sure if he's gonna go back down to 126 and to continue to defend his title. I mean, again, I got the Spanish version of it on fucking ESPN Deportes, so I couldn't even hear what the hell he was saying. But did he say anything about whether or not he was going to stay at 130 or go down to 126 again? Because I think that's where he was, right? 126. I don't recall correctly.
Lee would, if you listen to the interview, that would be better for you. I did not watch the interview with him.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so I'm just saying, like, ambiguous.
To 135 to
no,
fight.
what I got out of the interview was. Let me translate. He gave I will speak to my advisors. I don't know if I'm doing this. I don't know if I'm doing that. What does Bob want? What does Dre want? I'm going to do what my team and my grandfather and everybody who raised me like a fucking veal from the age of 1 to be what I am right now. That was basically the speech. He's a kid. And the smartest thing he can do is listen to his grandfather, Andre, and Bob. Bob's going to make this kid money if he will, if they want him to go down, he'll go down. If he wants.
Yeah.
Yep,
I would think because of the opponents, the situation, that they would have him move up to, what is it, junior lightweight, super featherweight? Is that what we're looking at, or would it be a straight lightweight?
130. Because right now, like I think last night he fought at 130. So to face either Loma or Teofimo, he'd have to go up again to lightweight at 135. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, he said, I think he said
at 130. At 130, we're looking at who? Miguel Berchelt? Is that who we're looking at?
Berchelt. We're looking.
Let me tell you something. They're staying the fuck away from that dude.
Yeah. No,
Miguel.
We got what's the Marine's name too? The Marine's name. I forget the Marine's name too. Berchelt. I'm sure it's some sort of Native American thing. But we got Berchelt, and then Carl Frampton, I think we got Frampton. And then like Leo Santa Cruz, those guys are all at 130.
Oh, Santa Cruz.
It has to be.
Jesus
look.
Christ.
Yeah, listen. I ain't never heard them even bring up Miguel Berchelt. So I think Stevenson moved up.
Burchell,
whatever.
Bring up Burchell multiple
and then Oscar
times.
Valdez, I think, is
they
at
brought him up
130
as
as well.
an opponent for Stevenson.
No. I don't think they did. Did they?
No, I'm asking.
No,
Lee.
they brought up Burchell. They brought up. No, they brought up Burchell. That was the most common name.
As an opponent for Stevenson.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. No, I think he moves up one more time. The money, the future of boxing is at 130. At 130, right? Garcia, Haney, Lopez, Lomachenko, Linares. Those are
135 though. Those are 135.
135. Then this is where the money's at. This is where everyone wants to go. You want to be a pay-per-view star, you got to get there. Miguel Berchelt isn't doing it. Herring isn't doing it, right? These guys are not pay-per-view numbers. They're not household names. So he's got to move up. And BR, Lee's surprising me with the Bird. I've never heard Top Rank even mention Stevenson and Berchelt. What a great fight it would be. I would be all over it if they did it. What a great start to Stevenson's career. I've never heard it.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't watching every word like a mental patient and trying to decide what the hell you were watching like I was.
And Jojo Diaz is a title holder too.
But wait a minute. We cover Bob Arum almost every week on this show. We've never matched those two names together. All right. Oscar Valdez is going to get slaughtered by Berchelt. I know that one. But no, they ain't never said Stevenson. Kevin Farmer. Isn't he going to rematch? He's going to
against
rematch
Jojo, I think. Probably, yeah.
Yes, they got to rematch that fight. That obviously could turn into a trilogy if Farmer does come back. So they're out of the loop. Jamal Herring to me just isn't a name. There's maybe he goes for a title. Doesn't he hold the IBF or something? He might be able to get the title from him, but that's not the money they're looking for. And like I said, I think the end game is the lightweight division.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, the belt that Shakur had before was WBO. So I think, generally speaking, that's pretty much Top Rank's fucking favorite belt. So if he goes up and he stays at 130, the WBO champion is Herring. So I would think that'd be the first crack that they gave him is going to be Herring, Jamal Herring.
Which takes us to tomorrow night, because we're working double time for you guys. We'll be forced to watch another stellar night of boxing. Bob Arum's literal favorite fighter headlines the card, who was in the bubble while talking on a bubble, through a bubble TV while in a bubble, in his room on a bubble while wrapped in cellophane. Yes, Jessie Magdaleno makes his return, and here is our extraordinary and so exciting card for tomorrow night. We start off the evening again at 4 o'clock with Adam López taking on Louie Coria. Would you roll the R there, Miguel?
No, it's only one R, so it'd be Coria.
I would assume. Coria?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We'll probably find out he's from Argentina, right? Like something like that. Anybody know either of these guys? Because they're going after the NABF Featherweight titles at 125.
Actually, yeah, Adam López. If you guys recall, he was actually the guy who last fought Oscar Valdez, and actually dropped him and put on a really, really good fight before Valdez was able to stop him in the 7th round. That's why I know him. He's got, if I'm not mistaken, Buddy McGirt in his corner. So Adam López is no joke. That dude,
isn't that That's Hector Lopez's son, Lee. You know Hector Lopez.
Yeah.
He's a Southern California fighter.
Yeah.
He fought
that's his
Zoo.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. We should watch him. I mean, definitely pay attention to that fight because he's fun to watch.
And they're going to start off the evening with a 10-round fight, which I like. They finally got smart. I don't know where they finally got smart about this. Yeah, little guys are going to go 10 rounds. It's going to really piss off boxing fans if you keep doing this 6-round bullshit. Because we have to sit around for 2 hours and wait for 3 fights. It's dumb. Which takes us to Gabriel. Adam López wins the fight. If you're figured someplace where you're allowed to go bet, which I can't even assume anybody's allowed to do yet in regards to sports, because they're never going to do it without a crowd. I tell you this, Vegas will not have sports betting until there are crowds. Just get it out of your heads. Maybe for major league sports, but certainly not for boxing. They just won't. There is no way to, until they start to see how the decisions look on an empty crowd, and we've seen it with the UFC. We almost got to see it last night. But the reality is, until you get a few 10-round fights that go the distance to see just how all over the place the scoring is, no way anybody's going to make these bets. No way. Nobody in their right mind, at least. I'm still trying to figure out how the UFC is coming up with their plus-minus system on every single fight, because you can't bet on every single UFC fight. I assume it's just something they make up in the back. Gabriel Muratalla. Would I roll the L's? Muratalla? Muratalla.
Yeah.
It's probably Muratalla. Yeah, I would agree. Taking on Fernando Robles at 118 pounds. And in the words of Teddy Out, this is not a real weight. This is not. They are not pound for pound. Jesus Christ, I shit bigger than this. All right. 4 rounds of Bantamweight I can fucking tolerate.
Yeah.
Jesus, 118 pounds. These guys weigh less than my 16-year-old daughter, for God's sakes. I mean, this is a shockingly low weight. Anybody?
4-round fight.
Anybody?
No, 4 rounds.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
I'm willing to
Moving
watch
forward.
4 rounds. Yeah, I don't mind.
No, but I mean, do you know?
That's about all it's worth.
He wants to know if we have a back. Yeah, I don't know anything about a 4-round.
Anybody got a
fight.
backstory? Is there a great story that you're waiting to drop on me about Muratalla or Robles? Because I'll flip a coin. I suspect 4 rounds. I don't give 2 fucks. I don't even want to know their records, to be brutally honest. I'm not even doing the homework on this fight.
It might be a pro debut. I mean, 4 rounds. They've got to be what, under 5 fights.
Here we go. See, this is the problem.
Here we
you
go.
Turn it into a real boxing show. You do. You do. That's the problem. All right.
Hey, let's bet. Is it a pro debut? How many fights, Lee?
2.
He has 2. Okay, Lee says 2. All right. 4 rounds. 4 rounds.
Oh, that's a Mondragon.
Oh, you're right. Look at 3-0-2. 3 wins.
Yeah.
Bam.
You have to be under to win on The Price is Right. You do. You do. This is the $1 bet. Great. And it's 4 rounds. Great.
Come on
fucking
down.
bantamweights. But yeah, no shit. It's fucking bantamweights. I don't know why people why do we make little tiny people this is like midget wrestling almost. I mean, it really is. I literally cannot think of anybody in these weight classes unless they are from Japan or Thailand that has knockout power. So no disrespect to Mr. Robles or Mr. Muratalla. I am not expecting much. Just make it 4 rounds. Make it entertaining. Be busy. Here's an idea. Be busy. That would make me happy. Which takes us to the lightweight division. Eric Mondragon takes on Mike Sanchez. Well, if you're talking about building opponents for Shakur to beat up, this is the place to start. Let's talk about Mr. Eric Mondragon in your co-main event of the evening.
Oh my God. It's a 3-round fight. What are we going into that for?
No, that one's a 6-round fight, isn't it?
Now you're making it a fucking science. What are you making it? You're making it a nerdy boxing show now.
See this? Are you guys telling me that you have not told me this fact? That now on BoxRec, they're look at BoxRec right now. They're referring to it as the bubble.
We should screenshot that shit. Oh, it's so tight. We should screenshot that.
Look, fucking Chris, he's there.
That was the bubble. Damn, it's like live from the bubble, the MGM Grand.
So stupid.
Live on pay-per-view from the bubble at the MGM Grand Convention
I've
Center.
heard of the Garden. I've heard that, but now this is the bubble. Holy shit!
The
All right.
bubble.
2020.
I know so many places about boxing. It's almost ridiculous. The fact that they're referring to it as the bubble.
And
I
this
need
is
you to
kind
go
of a
do
weird
homework.
fight on.
Miguel,
So
hold on, Miguel. You got to drive out there and see if there's a sign. You got to go by the. You got to go by the.
I'm gonna do that. I'm a hell of a gonna do that. Hell yeah! You better believe I'll do that shit. Yeah.
If there is a sign out in front of that place that says "bubble this way," holy shit! And I don't know how that hasn't surfaced on the
banner
internet yet.
Yeah,
if it does
it's gonna be
exist.
some fucking banner. They're gonna have some like regular, typical nylon banner, just fucking covering the MGM Grand
Draped
Garden
over
logo.
the convention center, right across from the parking lot. Which, by the way, doesn't have a hotel on top of it. It's an independent place. It is a bubble. You know why? Because they're convention people. You keep them away from everything. It's smart. The main event of the evening. Jessie Magdaleno is taking on...
That's a weird fight, though. See, you didn't let me finish. Why is Mike Sanchez and Eric Mondragon even fighting? He's 6-0, and the other guy is 3-0.
Yeah.
Very
real
rare
fight.
you see that. Yeah, it's very rare you see that. Look at that, 200
Might actually be a real fight. Because we're building someone to fight.
Someone's going to fire their manager after that one.
No, somebody's fighting Shakur next month. How do you not see that? This is Shakur's next fight. The winner of this fight is fighting Shakur at the end of August.
3-0.
This. How do you not see it? It's the right weight class. They'll do it at a catchweight. It's perfect. I guarantee you're going to see Bob pop up after this fight and go, I see great things. Mondragon, I just see it. He's ready for Magdaleno. Oh, no. He's ready for Shakur or Vasali. I don't know. I'm going to feed him to someone. He's perfect. He's perfect. He's literally a catchweight fighter. You've got Teofimo. You've got Vasily Lomachenko. You've got Shakur Stevenson. And everybody's hovering around this weight. You don't think Bob's building 130-pound guys? And I don't want to do the homework, but I'm going to guess one of these guys is hashtag MTK. This just smells to holy high heaven of Bob making fighters to get beat up on a card down the road. That's the outcome of this one for somebody. In case you guys didn't see that one coming down the tracks. Which takes us to our main event of the evening and literally Bob's biggest wet dream. Jessie Magdaleno fighting at a catchweight. You want to take a stab at that one, Miguel?
What the name? Yenifel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Yenifel.
Vicente?
Yeah, it is. Yenifel Vicente. Yeah, exactly.
Easy. Lee was all, yeah.
Sure. Sounds right.
Yeah.
Better than if I say it.
That's what I was going to say.
Tired of sounding white on this show. Sure. That's exactly how it would have said. It would have sounded just like that with absolutely no white to it at all. Yet again, Bob's 128 to 135 pound wet dream division of fighters that are all within 10 pounds of each other, and his desperate attempt to make Jessie Magdaleno into Jessie Magdaleno. Jeez, what a fucking fighter. God, my God. Bob talks, I don't know what it is that Jessie has on Bob or why Bob is so obsessed. And I get it. Magdaleno's excited, right? Saw it in LA. We've seen it in a bunch of places. He's a really, really, really exciting guy. He is fun to watch, but he's not a star. And Bob is obsessed with Jessie Magdaleno. My God. And you're going to put him in a 10-round squash match. All right. I start with you this time, Miguel. Have you got any deep insight on what I'm now going to call the Bob division of fighters that he's creating?
Well, I mean, we all know Magdaleno, right? I mean, we know that what he's got. I wouldn't consider him like a knockout artist or anything like that. But I mean, Yenifel has got decent amount of KOs and he's got decent amount of fights, and generally he's experienced. I don't anticipate this one being too much of a squash match. I do think this one's going to go the distance because, you know, most of, if not all, as a matter of fact, of Yenifel's losses were decisions. So it's a pretty good chance that, you know, if he ends up losing, it's going to be a decision. It's going to go the distance. I feel it's going to go the distance. I don't think either one of these have, you know, the shot to knock the other one out. It'll be the 10 rounds. So I guess we'll get more out of this and not just, you know, another squash match. I mean, it may still be one-sided. It may still be, you know, Magdaleno, because he's fast as fuck. Magdaleno's got some sweet ass fucking speed, and you know, I am a fan of his. So yeah, I suspect Magdaleno's gonna, you know, come away with the victory here. Yeah, it won't be a squash match. That I can probably tell you.
Trey.
I agree.
Right.
Magdaleno should be the favorite. What I'm a little worried about with him is he's been broken once. Dogboy stopped him. Dogboy broke him really mentally in that fight. He's on a 3-fight win streak. I know he said that last night. Opponents are kind of questionable. We'll see where he's at. This guy is, like Miguel just got finished saying, has a good chin and decent power. So if he has a will to win, he might be able to break Magdaleno late in this fight because it's already happened. So yeah, it's an interesting fight.
Mark Kriegel, what do you think about the fight? Manny Pacquiao should be great tonight. Good job. Good chime in. By the way, if you're wondering if that's a new ongoing character, probably if he keeps doing a 5-second delay. If he keeps doing a 5-second delay that they do not correct tomorrow night, I am never not going to do Mark Kriegel jokes for the rest of the time on Fight Net Radio. At least until my liver dysfunction kicks in, which at my current rate and based on the shitty fighting will probably happen a lot sooner than later. So if you guys are waiting eventually to have just normal boxing talk, I'm grooming Miguel as quick as I can. The show will live on. It really will. Miguel, I think Miguel's got this. I do. We'll test it out one day. Go to fightnetradio.com. We will cover the show. I guess that's the last of the fights for the week. No, but Zanfer's like Saturday, right?
And there's a UFC card also on Saturday as well.
All right, so we have Zanfer. All right, we'll probably do a fucking Friday show now, or Thursday night or something. Just to do another fucking...
we can keep it on Sunday. I mean, the fights are on Saturday. We can just do it the Sundays.
Right. You want me to look up the goddamn Zanfer card now? I have a note about it because it's co-promoted by fucking Bob. I saw it here in all of my emails. I have a lot of emails. I am way behind on my emails. Yeah, I know, but I'm pretty sure that I got an email about that one too. Top rank, there's Shakur. Shakur's back. Yada, yada, yada. Shakur's back. We covered the photos. I know I saw it. I know that there was a Zanfer card. There's Magdalenos. And then...
Okay. Just keep it Sunday anyway.
Wow, yeah. Fox is already promoting Fight Island. Look at that.
Wow.
That's exciting. Boy, I'm so glad there are no dick growing pill fucking shit in my emails right now. Why does Fight Island?
I was expecting to see that some like the score or whatever the fuck. What's that one commercial with like that baseball player is in? I forget his fucking name. Frank Thomas or something.
Yeah,
Frank Thomas.
No. The Big Hurt. The Big Hurt
yeah,
commercial, right?
Yeah.
The Big Hurt. Hey, Big Hurt, how do you hurt women and look so good?
Yeah. It's like I take Nugenics. It's the Nugenics subscription.
Yeah, you're right. No, I don't have that shit. That's why you buy drugs from a drug dealer instead of... Actually, now that I've said it out loud, because lately I have forgotten that I still have my Alexa on, and lately my computer's been sitting on my bed because I'm not even making an effort to get out of bed right now. I am now seeing shit in my commercial feed, my YouTube feed, and my fucking email feed. If I just say something out loud, it's showing up. Like, so shout out to everybody who writes their algorithms. You're doing a great job. Jesus. Why does Fight Island look like they literally dropped a cage in the middle of the fucking Abu Dhabi desert.
It's just a graphic. I'm sure they're gonna have a whole. If you guys ever remember like any of their old Abu Dhabi events, they literally build a fucking stadium around the cage. So
Stadium
maybe
around
it'll
right.
be
Same way for Joshua. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what they're gonna do.
This might sound stupid, but this fight island, is it one of the made up islands out there?
It's not an island. It's Abu Dhabi.
It's Abu Dhabi. They call it Yas Island. I don't know what the fuck exactly that is, but that's what it's called, like YAS Island in the United Arab Emirates.
I thought it was a desert.
Well, they were making their own islands though, Lee.
Yeah.
They were trying to do that. I didn't know if this was if this is actually a product of that. That's pretty cool if it is.
We're off till the 16th. We're good.
Huh?
Our next fight's not till the 16th. We're good. No. This is our next fight. We're good. Who's in charge of this now? I mean, Dan's not, so I would assume this is Steve Kim's new job. Well, yeah, we covered that fight, Andrew. We covered this whole.
I thought you were saying.
I thought there was a Zanfer card. No, there's a Zanfer card coming up here shortly.
Hey, look, more bantamweights.
I never even thought about this. This is part of Dan's old job. Dan's old job was compiling the fights. I would assume it's Steve's job now? Question mark? I would love to know if that's the way it is. Because of all the things that I say negative about Dan, he did a really good job compiling fights that are coming up. We have used it many times on this show. And he did a phenomenal job until he got fired. Aw. Got fired. He couldn't make his daytime network soap opera drama TV show work. I don't even want to look at his Instagram anymore.
No. He might still be doing that. He might still be doing that. I seen a commercial with him and Keith Thurman. So Dan's still on that project, I believe. Yes, he is back with Keith Thurman.
He is still sucking the PBC cock there, huh? I like that about him. You saw that.
He will eat anything.
You had. Wow. And on that note, you guys have a good week. We'll see you on Sunday and we'll review this fight.
Fight Night Radio! FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee. Talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Night Radio!